Blog Talk Radio.
What time is it?
WH Radio.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the last show of the year here on Wrestlingheads Radio. I am Skits, and I'm here with Tom at the moment. What is going on, man?
Not much, man, not much, you know. Just ready to finish up the BodySlam Awards and talk about a very interesting role.
Yeah, man, and we also got Oscar who joining us here, too. What's going on, Oscar?
Not much, man. Wow. That's all I got to say.
Wow is right. We will definitely get into what happened tonight in Raw. Lots of talk. It was a good We'll get into that as soon as we finish up with the ending of our 2014 BodySlam Awards. If you want to get involved with the show today, you can call us up at 760-454-1107. Or you can tweet us at Wrestlingheads. Tweet me at WHSkits. You can tweet Oscar at Sinister632. Or you can tweet Mr. Tom at 2tweetme. Is that right?
You did it right.
Is that right? Making sure, you know.
Nah, you got it.
Yeah,
you got it unlocked.
For sure. For those that listened last week, we had the BodySlam Awards. And this week we're actually finishing off the BodySlam Awards. A lot of interesting categories this week. We got like the High Flyer of the Year award. We got Indie Wrestler of the Year. We got Female Wrestler Indie of the Year award. There's some other awards we got here too. I was gonna put Podcast of the Year, meaning like JR, Chris Jericho, Stone Cold, those type of podcasts, but that did not make it. We could probably talk about our podcast of the year, who we thought the podcast of the year was. Shout out to my boy Orton. Shout out to my boy Orton on that one. He actually came up with that idea. But let's cut to the chase and let's get to it. First category we're going to probably get into is the High Flyer of the Year award. This one was definitely interesting category. It had probably the best high flyers in the game today in professional wrestling. Let's go ahead and say the names. We got A.R. Fox from CZW, Evolve, Dragon Gate. A.R. Fox, also he does work with PWG, for those that don't know who he is. Matt Seidel, a.k.a. Evan Bourne. Ricochet. If you don't know who Ricochet is, you should not be listening to the show. Kota Ibushi from New Japan Pro Wrestling. He also does other work in Japan. Adrian Neville from NXT and ACH from Ring of Honor. He does work with them. Also, he does work with PWG as well. Interesting category, gentlemen. Before we announce the winner, let's talk about this category. I'm going to pass it on to Tom real quick. Your thoughts on the 6 guys who got chose to be a part of this?
Yeah, you know, this is definitely a tough one to pick. I mean, each of those 6 guys are just, you know, the best high flyers in the world. And what makes it even more interesting is each of them has their own style. None of them are alike. None of them, you know, even though they do similar moves, they do it in their own way. They do it in their own style. And that's what makes it so much better. And no matter, I think, who the winner is, you can argue that each of these 6 guys go out there and, you know, they kill it each night. You know, they're doing things that we've never seen before, and it's incredible. So definitely a tough category.
Yeah, definitely. Oscar, did you want to go ahead and share your thoughts on that?
Yeah. I pick Kota Ibushi because out of all those guys you've seen, the most matches I enjoy is watching Kota Ibushi matches. I mean, you start from the beginning of the year when he had that match against Prince Devitt at Wrestle Kingdom. And now I was trying to think of high flyer. And I saw those names. I'm like, who do I enjoy the most? And I enjoyed Kota Ibushi. I like Ricochet. I like AR Fox. But the one I enjoyed all year was got to be Kota Ibushi.
Yeah, definitely, man. Kota Ibushi's a beast. You guys always hear me put this guy over. And it's funny that you mentioned Kota Ibushi as your pick because the winner of the High Flyer of the Year for the 2014 BodySlam Awards goes to Kota Ibushi, fucking beast mode. Can't wait to see him at Global Forces and New Japan's Wrestle Kingdom 9 show. Looking forward to that. And he gets the award for the High Flyer of the Year. I think it's the right vote for those wrestling heads out there that voted for him. Tom, you're High Flyer of the Year. Who is that?
I'd have to go with Kota Ibushi too. I mean, the guy has just been killing it on the high flying scene for years. The first time that I ever saw him was actually in Shikara, and it was in a four-way with Nick Jackson, El Generico, and Jigsaw. And, I mean, he was doing stuff that I had never seen before, and he's still doing stuff that a lot of people haven't, seen before, and he keeps on killing it. And, like I said, this was a tough one for me to even think about, but, I mean, you just got to give it to Ibushi. I would think that within the next couple of years, AR Fox is going to get up there because AR Fox is just absolutely bananas. I mean, the guy is going to kill himself with all the crazy shit that he does. I'm surprised he hasn't already. And AR Fox may have taken this for me. Maybe if he wasn't injured, maybe if he, had a little bit more time to do some more matches or whatever. But, AR Fox within the next couple of years is just going to keep doing stuff that we've never seen before. So he was my runner-up for this one. Definitely.
Bushi was definitely mine, too. It's crazy because a lot of categories today here at the 2014 BodySlam Awards, it was real tough with picks. Next one is actually Indie Wrestler of the Year, which is a fucking tough one. And, I'm going to go ahead and say the names. Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Ricochet, Josh Alexander, Johnny Gargano, and Elgin. That's another tough one. If you guys had to guess, who do you think was neck and neck?
Nick and Nick. Nick and Nick. Well, I want to say Ricochet and Elgin. If the people are gonna vote, that's all my guess to be Nick and Nick. But I pick Ricochet because I believe he had better year than all those guys.
Yeah, I would think maybe Ricochet too. But if Ricochet doesn't take it, I think it could be Kyle O'Reilly because he had a monstrous year as well. So either one of those two guys, I think. I think a lot of people maybe would have said Elgin, but I feel like he's on a lot of bad terms with fans after what's happened the last couple months. So maybe people would be kind of hesitant to want to go for Elgin. But yeah, I think it's going to be either Ricochet or Kyle O'Reilly.
Yeah, and you're right. It was neck and neck with Kyle O'Reilly and Ricochet, two of the best wrestlers in the world. And the crazy part is it was one vote off. One person was one vote. And that person that was one vote off from winning was Kyle O'Reilly. And the winner is for your Independent Wrestler of the Year for the 2014 BodySlam Awards goes to Ricochet. Beast Mode Year. You're basically your Indie Wrestler of the Year and your Wrestler of the Year. Big deal in the world of wrestling, I would say. Even I think you should be Wrestler of the Year and Indie Wrestler of the Year, period, because he's had a great year, period. I'm pretty sure you guys can agree with that. But Ricochet wins your Indie Wrestler of the Year.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. A guy who's not contract with any of the big companies. Look what kind of success he had this year, and you can say he won the junior tournament. He won the Open and Free Game title earlier this year, and he's about to get to show his talents on a national basis in Lucha Underground as a different character. And he won Bola, and there's a lot of big names that won Bola in the past, and imagine he won the PWG title. I mean, wow. Too bad he didn't win it, but wow.
That basically would have been icing on the cake.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if he won the PWG title, how can any of these years coming up for Ricochet could top this year? Even if he signed a WWE contract, how can that year top this year?
Yeah,
it'd definitely be hard to. I mean, you're hard pressed to find anybody on the independent scene to have the year that he had, with all the tournaments that he won, the titles that he won, and just the overall performance that Ricochet had this year. I think he took a big step up also in just kind of redefining himself. He's still the old Ricochet, but he's adding a new flavor to his style, and he's, adding more to his moveset and his arsenal, and he's putting on, different matches that we've seen before, and I think that also adds, to him, winning these awards. It's not that he's the same Ricochet who's just known for his high flying. Now he's known for, mixing up his moves and trying out some new things, and it's definitely showing with his matches that he put on this year.
It's crazy. Josh Alexander even voted for Ricochet, and he's part of the categories for the Indie Wrestler of the Year. If you have somebody that is part of the, that's basically a part of the category to see who's going to win that award, voting for you, you know that you're the fucking truth. And those two actually had a match this year too, and actually they had it in. Our boy Matt from WWP actually got a chance to see those guys go face to face, and maybe we'll see those guys go at it again coming next year. So, but let's get into the next one. The next one is the Breakout Wrestler of the Year, and these are the gentlemen who are part of that got on the category, but you can still vote for whoever you wanted to. If you didn't see whoever you wanted to win picture up, you have Trevor Lee, Hanson. You also have Cedric Alexander, who had an awesome year. Seth Rollins, we know what he did in the WWE. He had an awesome year in the WWE. Ricochet, once again. Dean Ambrose, also another good year in the WWE. Thought it could have been better, but we all know what happened with that. And a couple guys that were up there actually got votes for that, and that was the Juice. JT Dunn actually got a vote, but it's obvious that he didn't win. Shout out to JT Dunn. But the winner for your 2014 Breakout Wrestler of the Year, before I announce the winner, who's you guys' Breakout Wrestler of the Year? Oscar.
Well, I actually picked Seth Rollins. The reason why is because this year he showed that he can be a main eventer, not just only a guy who could be on the side like he was in the Shield. To me, at first, when the Shield was formed, the first one I think was Dean Ambrose. Then you could think Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. But now that the team broke up, he got out of that shadow. And to me, when it comes to a breakthrough, it means he shows everybody that what he can do and kind of level he can be. And he proved he could be in the main event level. And now he's Money in the Bank. Maybe in 2015 or soon enough, or maybe in 1 month, he'll be your next WWE World Heavyweight Champion. So that's why I had to pick Seth Rollins because, other guys like Ricochet. Well, Ricochet to me is not a breakthrough. If you had that category last year, I would have picked Ricochet. But this year, he didn't show us a breakthrough. He did more beyond that. Dean Ambrose, he did okay, he had a good year, but I don't think in that breakthrough. If I had to pick a second place, he would have been second place. Hanson, I don't know. To me, I just feel like when his partner comes back, they're gonna go back as a tag team. But Hanson, to me, he had no breakthrough. So, and Cedric did pretty good. He's there, but I don't think he had a good year like Seth Rollins did. And that's why I picked Seth Rollins because I just feel like he's going to be a champion pretty soon. Real soon.
Definitely. Oh?
Yeah, for me personally, I'll give my pick, and then you can read the winner. But I picked Trevor Lee just for the simple fact, and I've said this so many times on this show, and I'm going to say it again. At the beginning of 2014, absolutely nobody knew of Trevor Lee. Unless you lived in North Carolina and you would go to the CWF Mid-Atlantic shows, then you would have known him. But anywhere else, nobody knew who he was. He was an unknown name. And then March rolls around with PWG, Mystery Vortex 2, and all of a sudden, everybody starts to know his name. And then he keeps building and building and building. He beats Kevin Steen. He's beaten Chris Hero. He's beaten all these guys this year that were established names on the independent
Adam
scene.
Cole. Michael Rose.
And everybody is starting to talk about him. When you see PWG, the preview videos on YouTube, everybody's talking about Trevor Lee. They're like, Trevor Lee is the shit. Trevor Lee's fucking awesome. Everybody talks about how great Trevor Lee is now. And for me, that's why I had to pick him, is that he went from an unknown to somebody that's going to be a huge independent star in the future. Who knows what type of years he's going to have in the future. With some of these other guys, I was going to pick Hanson just for the fact also that Hanson was kind of a name nobody knew. And, Hanson was known for being in the tag team, and then once Raymond Rowe got hurt, that's when we saw what Hanson can do.
Let's not forget, Hanson also won the Ring of Honor prospect tournament. So a lot of people forget about that too.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's why I had to go with Trevor Lee. I could see where Oscar's coming from with Seth Rollins. He made some good points about that. But I think Seth Rollins was already kind of – you saw that WWE knew that there was some talent in him. I think WWE knew that all three of those guys had potential to be future of the company. I didn't have any doubt of that. It was just kind of waiting to see who gets it first, who would be heel, who would be face, and blah, blah, blah. But like I said, Trevor Lee went from a nobody to a somebody within 1 year, and even less than a year,
All right, you know what? Because I remember when Trevor Lee made his debut at PWG, everybody was like, "Who are you? Who are you?" Like everybody knew who. And
then by the end of the night, they were chanting, "Please come back."
Right.
And for the PWG crowd to be doing that, you got to be doing something right. And like I said, he's been killing it. in PWG, but he also, he made his debut for CZW. He was in Chikara. He has been getting booked in other companies as well. I mean, like I said, for a company not to book him now would be a stupid move. Everybody's asking their local indie company to book him because that's how much hype they get.
And now, Tom, now that, Gabe is finally know what the fuck he's doing, because he was using Trevor Lee as dark matches for FIP. So I was like, what the fuck you doing? But now, next month in Evolve, he's going to actually wrestle a match in Evolve. So, that's something he's going to be doing now. I guess Gabe finally know what the hell he's going to do with him, I mean,
yeah.
Gabe
has his own ways of doing things, but I think even Gabe Sapolsky, when that's the thing about independent wrestling that differs so much, I would say, from WWE, is that independent promoters are going to listen to the fans, like, so intently. If the fans don't like a guy, not for being a heel, but for the wrong reason, they're not going to want to push that guy. But if they, hear these fans saying, oh, man, Trevor Lee is the best, man, Trevor Lee should be, world champ in your company, he should do this and do that, they're going to take it into, major consideration. So that's why I picked Trevor Lee for Breakout Star 2014. Crazy year for the guy. Can't wait to see what he's going to do in 2015.
I'm going to have to agree with you on that. Trevor Lee, Breakout Wrestler of the Year. And for all the voters out there, they voted for Trevor Lee. Trevor Lee is your Breakout Wrestler of the Year. And also his dad even voted. So,
yep. I saw that tweet.
So, yeah. Trevor Lee definitely had an awesome year. And he's going to continue to have a great year. And Trevor knows I'm part of his fan club. I'm one of his huge supporters at PWG. One of the first people to buy his T-shirts when he started selling T-shirts out there. So yeah. Next category, Rookie of the Year. Rusev. We already know what Rusev did this year. Awesome year. Came in. He's still undefeated right now. Became United States champion by beating Sheamus. Still your U.S. champ. And it's starting to get kind of boring, but see what they do with him. Trevor Lee, Hanson, and Paige. Yes, Paige is on the list. I know somebody did get on me. Mark out for tacos. Like, Paige isn't a rookie, but we all know, like, half these guys aren't rookies. They've been around, but in people's eyes, they're new, You feel me what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people don't know who these people are until they, get hot, So, but that's the Rookie of the Year category. Wasn't too many people. Your thoughts on the categories, the people that were picked, Oscar?
Well, Trevor Lee, because whatever Tom said, like what Tom said earlier, he was coming to nobody and what he did in PWG and getting booked all over these places. I picked Trevor Lee because of that. And I was thinking about picking Paige, but I did not like how WWE brought her in, just straight up give her the damn the U.S. title while AJ Lee was out. I didn't like that. So I took out Paige on that part. So, I mean, it was a good list, but, I had to pick Trevor Lee. Just what Tom says earlier, you could say the same story, pretty much. He's your Rookie of the Year.
What about you, Tom?
I said Trevor Lee here, too. Just like I said before, all those reasons. Great year for him. The other candidates had great years, too. But, I was thinking about picking Paige as well, but then I thought about it and look at tonight's Raw. She did start off, the night after WrestleMania, huge debut, winning the title. But now it's the end of 2014, and she's kind of become relevant. People are forgetting, that she hasn't been on the show for a bit. She hasn't been on Raw for a while. So I think that's where she's become. And I think if WWE would have booked her better, maybe she could have won it. But I don't think so. So another award I give out to Mr. Trevor Lee.
Yeah, definitely a great category full of great wrestlers. All four had good years. This one was really another tough one. Rookie of the Year this year in 2014, it goes to Hanson, ladies and gentlemen.
What the fuck?
Hanson had a good year, dude, in the Ring of Honor. I think so.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
And
Hanson had a good year.
If Raymond Rowe didn't get hurt, then we wouldn't be saying this. But because Raymond Rowe, unfortunately, getting hurt, hopefully he comes back in 2015, just as he was in 2014. I like War Machine. They're a fucking awesome tag team. But unfortunately, because of his injury, Hanson was forced to go out on his own, and we saw what he could do against the top guys in the Ring of Honor. And, he put on hell
He
of
even
a
wrestled with
performance.
AJ Styles.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He went up against the top guys in Ring of Honor, and he proved that he, belongs to be there as a singles guy. Eventually, I think War Machine's going to get back together. Maybe they'll dethrone Red Dragon for the Ring of Honor world titles. But for the time being, I think Hanson's going to continue going on this, incredible stretch. And the Ring of Honor crowds love him. I mean, in that four-way...
You saw what he did at the last pay-per-view.
Yeah, in that four-way, Mark Briscoe is always going to be over because the Briscoe brothers everybody loves. But besides him, Hanson got huge pops. That New York City crowd loves Hanson, and he gets pretty big reactions wherever he goes. I remember when he faced Mark Briscoe at All-Star Extravaganza 6 back in September, people were loving him too. People love when he just beats the shit out of people and he throws guys around like it's nothing. So I could see where people were looking for him. I did forget that technically he was a rookie. I wasn't really thinking about it like that. But, yeah, I'm fine with this vote.
Yeah, man. Definitely interesting. I know a lot of folks out there are happy they're voting. Hello, you guys there?
What was that? Maybe he got cut off. I didn't hear what he said.
Yeah, he got cut off.
I said I know a lot of folks that voted are happy.
Yeah. I think any of the four choices would have made sense. Maybe people would have been happy with Rusev. But I think if anyone would have picked Trevor Lee or Paige, then there would have been no complaints, really.
Yeah, I know we had a couple of complaints from some other votes, but we'll save that for another story. Next category for Women's Indie Wrestler of the Year. We had Candice LeRae, Felicia Sparks, two girls that have been on the show. Kimberly, another girl's been on the show. Hudson Nivy, another girl's been on the show. Veda Scott and Chrissy, not Chrissy Rivera, but with Matt Taven's, I don't know if it's his ex or his girl or Casey Ray.
Oh, Casey Ray. Well, my thoughts of that one, that I actually picked Candice LeRae is because, she proved this year that, to me, she is the best women wrestler as of right now. And, all those categories, you see, like Hudson Envy and and Kimberly, they have success, but from doing other things. Like example, Kimberly, to me, her success was more because of her tag team with Cherry Bomb. You know, that's how I feel like what she did this year, and plus she was involved in storylines with the campaign.
She's also undefeated at Beyond.
Yeah, she's undefeated in Beyond as well. But you know, I just feel like Candice, she expanded more this year. Like not only she's getting booked like everywhere, not only she's like more like a SoCal girl, she's pretty much everywhere now. She's on AIW now. We all watch her at PWG, and she's getting booked like pretty much everywhere with Joey Ryan. And not only that, she's going out with the guy. I mean, she's pretty much wrestling guys all over the place too. And same with Kimberly, she's wrestling dudes as well. And I just feel like, you know, if Kimberly's expand more, it'll be probably neck and neck. And plus, you know, Kimberly, they had a match. She had a match with Candice LeRae, which I didn't enjoy. She just pretty much destroyed her, pretty much. And
the one at CCW.
The one in CCW, yeah. She just pretty much destroyed her. And I just feel like Candice LeRae was the winner in that one because she more expanded more this year, you know.
Your thoughts, Tom? You agree?
Yeah, I agree with Oscar. All his points, you know, was what I was thinking. You know, Candice has just, you know, she's gone out there. I think in 2013 was a year that she kind of showed that maybe she could hang with the guys, but it was kind of only in like 6-man tag matches or whatever. We never really got to saw what she could do, you know, one-on-one with a guy. Yeah, that's why, you know. She
wrestled Cole this year.
In 2014, we got to see, you know, that she can hang with Adam Cole, and then, you know, her being.
She even got in the ring with Kevin Steen.
What's up?
She even got in the ring with Kevin Steen.
Yeah, I mean,
it wasn't 1-on-1. It was a 6-person tag. Yeah,
I mean, when she took that cannonball that he does into the corner, that was that was fucking sick. I mean, for even anybody to take that, but for her to take that, it's crazy. And of course, you know, everybody still talks about her match at PWG 11. You know, how incredibly fucking tough she was to take those bumps, to bleed like crazy, and it just shows, you know, how much better. I don't even want to say better because she's been good for so many years, but we never really got to see what she can do on this type of level. And
let's not sleep on.
You know,
I was gonna say, let's not sleep on the other girls like Veda Scott, who's done such a great job.
You know, I was just thinking that, you know, with what Candice did at PWG 11 in like Guerrilla Warfare match against the Bucks, you know, Veda Scott had a crazy cage match at AIW against Gregory Iron, and you know, she was bleeding, and it was, you know, I think if Ring of Honor had, you know, their own women's division, she would definitely be a breakout star there. But, you know, she's just used more as a manager / valet there. So that's fine, but people, you know, who watch other promotions knows that she can get in the ring and she can go. But the thing with Veda Scott is I still think she still has some improvements to make in the ring. I still think she's pretty green. So hopefully, I think in 2015, she's going to get even better. She's going to go out and have way better matches. So I'm looking forward to that. I also wanted to give out, you know, definitely a big shout out, someone who wasn't on this list, Heidi Lovelace. She had a great 2014. She's, you know, up and comer, and I think she's going to be making even more waves in 2015. So don't take anything away from her as well. And none of these girls, all, you know, every single one of these women that was nominated, all kick ass. They go out there and they show that, you know, women could do everything guys could do, sometimes even better, you know. And
yeah, I was just about to talk about
we'll find this
our
hell while
girl,
doing it.
Hudson Ivy. Hudson Ivy had an awesome year out here at SoCal. She became the AWS Women's Champ. She had a hell of a match with Candace. I believe Oscar was there. They were bleeding, going crazy.
Well,
crazy,
actually, that was last year.
match.
That was not. That was 2013. That they didn't have in 2014, but that was a good match though.
It really feels like that match was. It had to be like towards the end of last year because
actually it was it was August of 2013. I remember it. It was August.
I don't know why.
I don't know.
I don't know why, but Hudson Ivy, she still put on great matches with like girls like LaFesto. Like the girl Hudson Ivy is the fucking truth. She's on her way to Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that I know she's gonna be at Stardom, but don't forget when she won the AWS women's title, King of On Air, she had it for 4 fucking years, and she finally took it, from her, and that was she had a 4-year reign, and ever since she won the title, she's going against like cheerleader Melissa and LaFesto, and who knows what Bart will bring in, what kind of name she'll bring in, maybe Heidi Lovelace, like what Tom mentioned. Maybe you should have put her in that nomination because she did have a good 2014. And it sucks though, I missed the opportunity to actually see a wrestle in person, but too bad Presidential was in Las Vegas, so I was like, fuck. I missed the opportunity to see a wrestle. Who knows when the next time she'll come in the West Coast, I mean, sucks, but oh well. But and then I feel like
Sparks had a good year too. She killed it in AIW. Also, she's done some great matches out there in the Canada area. She's been doing great matches too. But Casey Ray, I've heard good stuff about her. Haven't seen too much. But from what I'm hearing, that she's undefeated at right now at a promotion that she wrestles at. So, but she got on there because my boy Orton, he's a big fan, and he wanted her on there, and she got on there and got 2 votes. So yeah. Let's go on to the next category.
So who won the dancing? Who won
Candice
the
LeRae. Candice LeRae.
There you go.
Candice LeRae won. She basically killed it when it came to that vote. But our next one is actually the last.
Well, before you go, there's one thing we forgot to mention about Candice and Dana. This year, they actually both appeared on TNA this year. So that's something good. And it was funny. They both actually wrestled Gail Kim. If I'm not mistaken, I think Beta wrestled Gail Kim in that Knockouts one and only pay-per-view thing. So that's big for both of them. Going against Gail Kim, and I know you Skips, I know you're a big fan of Gail Kim, but putting them against Gail Kim, that's pretty good. All right.
Definitely. Gail Kim, one of the best to do it. But the last award is the match of the year. Let me ask you guys your question. What's your match of the year? I know it's been a lot of matches, but what's your match of the year? It doesn't matter who answers first, but
match of the fucking year.
This was like the toughest one. I don't know about you guys, but this was like the toughest one for me because there's just so many to choose from, honestly. In every promotion. And I was just thinking, I don't even know what to pick. But Oscar, go ahead. I'll let you say yours.
I didn't know what to pick too. I don't know if there was a category or not. I didn't even see that on Twitter, but
definitely tagged you.
I'll go with mine. My match of the year that I decided to go with. I was thinking a lot about it. But my match of the year is Tanahashi versus Shibata from New Japan Destruction in Kobe. That happened this past September. I mean, I was thinking about doing AJ Styles, Minoru Suzuki from the G1 Climax, because that was another incredible fucking match. But I felt like Tanahashi and Shibata just went out there on the show and absolutely fucking killed it. Everything that a wrestling match should have, this had it. It had drama. It had comebacks. It had psychology. It had all the moves that you want. It had stiffness. I don't want to say it was the perfect match, but it was one of the only few matches that I personally gave 5 stars to. I thought it was everything that it should be, which was the same true for AJ Styles and Minoru Suzuki from Day 7 of the G1 Climax. I just personally enjoyed this one better, so that was my match of the year.
All right, mine's actually a tag match. Mine was actually Red Dragon against the Young Bucks.
Which one?
The first one. I enjoyed that one a lot, when the Young Bucks won the ROH tag title. I really enjoyed that one a lot. I liked the second one and the third one. The third one was a good climax to it. But that first one was like, it felt like something special that night happened, and I enjoyed everything of it. You know, it was more excitement and more high flying risks and all that stuff they just did. I like how they performed in that match better than the other two. But yeah, that was probably my match of the year.
Yeah, mine is pretty hard too. AJ Styles and Suzuki is definitely one of them. Another one. There's a lot of fucking PWG matches that can be on there. Red Dragon going against the Bucks. All of them were sick. They're all on there. So I really don't have one. It's like too many for me. The Wyatts versus the Shield was a good match, even though it's a WWE match. The match of the year goes to AJ Styles versus Suzuki G1 Climax.
Yeah, I think when it happened, everybody was talking about it on Twitter. People were talking about it for the rest of the tournament and even after the tournament. So I kind of suspected it was going to be up there with people's matches of the year. But I mean, just incredible fucking match. I mean, everything that I said about the Tanahashi-Shibata match, you could say was the same about this match. I mean, Suzuki, he's an old-time veteran, but this match, I think, just still proves he can go out there and kill it. And then, you know, thank God AJ Styles left TNA. So, you know, I mean, his performances this year, especially in the G1 Climax, just showed what TNA was fucking missing with him and what they weren't doing with him. So yeah, I kind of expected this to take the win, and it was an incredible match on a fucking amazing tournament.
Definitely. A lot of folks will love it. On our timeline, Everton said, excuse me. But real quick, let's take a break. Come back and talk about some Monday Night Raw. Are you guys with that, gentlemen?
Rick and like what we're talking about in this one.
Yeah.
We'll be right back. We'll take a break. We'll be right back in 30 seconds. Four Corners Radio is the home for the best professional wrestling and independent wrestling. Discussions and coverage. Billy, Ant, Martin, and Sam bring you 3 of the best podcasts every week. The Four Corners Raw Roundtable, the Indie Project, and the Saturday Freestyle. Along with the podcast, FourCornersWrestling.com is designed with all wrestling fans in mind. Feature articles, videos, the weekly shows, and much more. Four Corners and Wrestlingheads are teaming up to bring you wrestling's next revolution. Are you ready? Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's funny, I just got a tweet from this guy named Matt Beaver, ESPN, and he asked me, is the one where he killed the guy, talking about AJ. I don't think AJ killed him. I think that was just a regular great match. Who is the guy that AJ killed?
I mean,
that
I
British
don't know.
wrestler?
I don't think AJ Styles killed anybody, but unless that's news to me, I don't think he killed anybody. I know,
he
he had a couple of
someone's
botched
career.
Styles clashes. One, the two worst was one against this guy Lionheart over in the UK and Yoshitatsu. So those are the only two I could think.
Yeah, I'm like, it can't be, but
I was thinking maybe he's talking about Lionheart, but Lionheart got really hurt from that botched Styles clash. But I don't think he killed anybody. No.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Anyway, I don't think AJ Styles killed anybody. There's been a huge discussion toward the end of the year about AJ Styles not using that Styles clash anymore. A lot of debate going on.
Yeah, definitely. But anywho, I need to ask a question for Mr. Skits right here, who says that he was taking a break from watching Raw because he hasn't been liking it. What you think about this Raw?
You want my answer?
Yes.
That's my answer.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Daniel Bryan is back. Now, first of all, he scared us all. I know I'm skipping, but we got to get to this. But this is big. Daniel Bryan is big, bigger than everybody right about now. He's my favorite wrestler, one of them. But there was a lot of talk. Earlier I was at work. I got a text from this man right here, Oscar, talking about his words that Daniel Bryan is going to retire. I said, I believe him when I hear it. And I never thought the guy was going to, retire or nothing. Why would they have Daniel Bryan do this to us, at their last show of the year? It doesn't make sense to me. But, ladies and gentlemen, he basically scared us like he was going to retire, and he announced he is back. Royal Rumble 2015, D. Bryan is back. Everybody here on Wrestlingheads, give me your fucking opinion on this shit, because I'm fucking stoked. Oscar, talk to me.
All right. I heard that rumor about from my friend Mike, aka Mr. Dodger Hat here. He hit me up with a message, hey, it's true Daniel Bryan's retiring. Like, what? So then I looked in this tweet and I was like, holy shit. It's funny, I never really mentioned this, but I read a few weeks ago that supposedly he's training for a backstage role, but I don't know what for. But then when I heard about it, I was like, oh shit, is this true? He's really retiring? Is he gonna bust a Corey Graves on us now or something? But when he announced that he's gonna be in the Royal Rumble, I was thinking, I'm going to WrestleMania. He might win the Rumble this year. I'm probably gonna see him win the WWE title at WrestleMania. So he saved us all right there. Daniel Bryan, man, He's back. I'm happy he's back. I know the neck injury was a serious neck injury. I mean, you don't want to fuck with the neck injury. I just hope that it doesn't affect him down the road like how Edge did. Because remember, Edge hurt his neck in 2003, I believe, and then he retired years later from it. So hopefully that doesn't happen to him. Like 5 years from now, he has to really get announced his retirement. But yeah, I just hopefully he has a successful career moving on. I just hope he doesn't get more injuries. And, yeah, and hopefully he does win the Royal Rumble. I mean, he's my pick now to win the Rumble. Now, go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, I mean, when Daniel Bryan sent out that tweet earlier today, I was thinking, oh, man, could this really be it? Like, come on, there's no way. And I'm thinking, it was like one of those things I'm like, well, there hasn't been really any updates on his condition. And, you know, they've been saying that, you know, he's still not getting feeling back in his arm because of all this. And, you know, there wasn't really any updates within the last couple weeks or months or so. So I'm thinking, oh, man, don't tell me he got, like, bad news from his doctors or something. And everybody was talking about it. So, and then, you know, at the beginning of the show, they showed Edge's, you know, whole retirement thing. And I'm thinking, man, are they really playing it up? Like, what are they thinking? Are they showing that, you know, Edge had to do it, now Daniel Bryan has to do it? And finally, you know, the time came when he came out there. There was still some doubt in my mind. I'm like, maybe, you know, he wasn't out there first. So maybe they just wanted to save it toward the end of the show to give him a spotlight or something. And then, you know, we started talking about all that stuff, and he started, you know, crying once he mentioned his dad and all that, and I'm like, come on. I was like, there's no way. And then finally he swerved us all. He pulled a Mark Henry. He pulled a Vince Russo. He swerved us all. And I just yelled, son of a bitch, you motherfucker. That motherfucker just swerved us all. But he didn't know that Daniel Bryan was going to make it to the Rumble. I'm happy to hear it. I think we're going to see less high-risk Daniel Bryan, but I think overall he's still going to be the same down the line. But I think what this indicates to WWE now is that we need a Daniel Bryan, Brock Lesnar main event at WrestleMania. No John Cena, Roman Reigns, no John Cena, whoever, no even John Cena, Daniel Bryan. Maybe we'll get a John Cena, Daniel Bryan.
I want to see Daniel Bryan and Seth Rollins
to win that Royal Rumble. No Roman Reigns, no Dolph Ziggler, Daniel Bryan.
Daniel Bryan versus Seth Rollins main event WrestleMania. That needs to happen. But
yeah,
that could be a possibility. I mean, I'd like to see that, but at the same time, you got to think if you make Lesnar drop the title at the Royal Rumble, and you have Seth Rollins cashing on Cena, then who will you put Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania?
He can wrestle somebody else. He wrestle one of the fucking wrestle The Rock. Who's the shit? You know?
No, The Rock ain't coming. Sorry. I mean, you could have options for Seth Rollins, but I mean, Brock Lesnar. Who will you put in for Brock Lesnar? I don't want to see no Undertaker Brock Lesnar rematch.
No.
Nobody's thinking about Brock Lesnar.
You can do a Brock Lesnar Randy Orton match. I think that could be a possibility.
Randy Orton. No, let's not forget Randy Orton and Seth Rollins still got beef. Let's not forget about that either. So it's a lot of fucking options. A lot of options. I know we're talking early about WrestleMania. A lot of options. That's why I tell some of my friends on Xbox, I'm like, it's still early to even talk WrestleMania. Let's not, you know, think about who's in the wrestle who now, because a lot of shit.
Well, I can tell you this though, Skits. In 1 month from now, the road to WrestleMania will be officially begin. So
yeah, but the thing about it is with WrestleMania, WWE plans months ahead. They started probably thinking about planning WrestleMania in, you know, late October, early November. They probably have their main event of WrestleMania already booked. Maybe not some of the other matches, but for the most part, WWE books WrestleMania main events in advance, like around this time. And I just have this sinking feeling. Everybody wants to see Daniel Bryan win. I just have that feeling because it's the WWE that fucking Roman Reigns is still going to win the Royal Rumble. Still have that feeling. Because they are that out of touch, and they are still going to shove Roman Reigns down our throats and force us to do whatever main event they're planning for WrestleMania with him. I could be wrong, but I just have that sinking feeling because it's the WWE, and they get us hyped up like this only to disappoint us.
To me, to be honest with you, I don't have a problem Roman Reigns winning it, but it makes more sense Daniel Bryan wins it. Well, I can tell you this, I'm not picking Roman Reigns to win it, but I don't have a problem him winning it, though.
I mean, I have a huge, huge problem with Roman Reigns winning the Rumble. I mean, I can name 3 or 4 guys I would rather see, probably even more guys I'd rather see win the Rumble than Roman Reigns. He does not deserve to win the Rumble. He should not be discussed to win the Rumble. You know, you can push Roman Reigns, you know what, I understand they're going to do it. And, you know what, he can win a Royal Rumble down the line, maybe, you know, next year, 2016, maybe then. But right now, he should not win it. Absolutely not.
Well, we'll see.
Let's go ahead. My bad. What?
No, go ahead, Skid.
Let's go ahead and finish talking Raw here. Well, we start off Raw with Edge and Christian, the GMs of the night, and they book a couple matches. They book Rusev versus Ziggler, champion versus champion. Also, they book Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns. Let's go ahead and talk about some of the matches tonight. Dolph Ziggler and Rusev definitely had a good match into the disqualification happened. So basically, a lot of people were like, does this mean that, you know, he's still going to be undefeated? I'm like, come on, like, it was a DQ. DQ doesn't count, but I'm just going to call it now. I already see Ziggler and Rusev having a match on SmackDown, so they're definitely going to finish those two off.
I thought it was good. I thought these guys had a good dynamic between the two. I think if they were given some more time and maybe if it was like a pay-per-view or something, it could have even been better. But for starting Ross, it was pretty solid. I liked it. I think I saw, you know, the whole kind of mess, you know, the DQ screwy ending coming because they weren't going to have Ziggler, you know, beat Rusev clean because Rusev's still, you know, quote unquote undefeated. And I didn't think because, you know, they've been building up Dolph Ziggler as this big threat, they weren't going to have him lose clean. So I kind of figured a screwy finish was in the works. So I was fine with the match, though. It was good for what it was worth.
Definitely. Your thoughts, Oscar?
Well, to be honest, I didn't see the beginning of Raw. You know why, Skits? But when I read that, it was okay. But then I'll comment more about it when we get to the Ryback part.
We can get to Ryback right now.
All right.
What an awkward fucking... What I was a shoot at first. What an awkward promo. I didn't understand what the promo was for. I felt like it was a waste of fucking time, but yeah. Ryback, I have no thoughts because I can't stand the guy anyways. So I'm just going to pass the guy.
Well, I knew about his story. I mean, if y'all listen to the Chris Jericho's podcast, he mentioned all that shit before, about how he got fired and all this stuff, and I mean the injury, and I don't know what the heck is this. Is this trying to start that they want to give him a huge push? I mean, remember I said this show a few weeks ago. It wouldn't shock me if Ryback's the one that ends Rusev. You know, it's undefeated streak. It would not shock me at all. When this match will happen, who knows? But I already said it. I mean, I said it the show a few weeks ago. It wouldn't shock me if Ryback beats Rusev. And showing that promo, that shows why.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Tom.
It was a little awkward. I mean, it was just kind of like, okay, what are we getting at? And then, you know, I think that some part of that was trying to kind of diffuse the whole CM Punk thing, you know, and this was the opportunity to finally do it, even though, you know, Punk's podcast was over a month ago. But this was finally the chance to, you know, let Ryback say whatever. And I think it was just a little too late. You know, I could be thinking a little bit too far into it. But I thought for a Ryback promo, it was a little cool just to see him get some mic time. Don't have a problem with it. You know, he's not the greatest on the mic. He's not bad either. Just kind of in the middle. Has his good moments. Has his kind of cringy moments. But for the most part, it was an all right promo, and you know, at least he got some time on the mic, so can't complain about that.
Shit was terrible.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it was
mic, yeah.
terrible. It wasn't like Roman Reigns bad, because Roman Reigns is just awkward as fuck when he's on the mic. I mean, when you listen to Roman Reigns just kind of talk or whatever when, you know, he's not doing a promo for WWE, he's like this chill guy and just so natural. But then whenever he gets on the microphone or is doing an interview, he's just like so fucking awkward and, you know, so unnatural. And, you know, something I just thought of this, and it's comparable to another guy, Roderick Strong. You know, Roderick Strong, I wouldn't say is, you know, terrible on the mic, but there's just something unnatural about Roddy talking on the mic. He's not really that great. And then I was watching a preview for the Best Friends show that High Spots does, and Roddy was the latest guest on it. And he was just cool, and he was relaxed, and, you know, he was doing all these things, and it seems so natural for him, and I wish just like his character anywhere could be like that, you know. I will say that Roddy's promos in PWG are probably, you know, way better than in Ring of Honor because, you know, he can go out there and curse and do whatever the fuck he wants. But I think it's just similar in that aspect. So I didn't think it was that terrible.
I think Roddy Strong's a good promo. I think he's good at promos, but I guess we all have different opinions on that one. Let's take this call real quick. We got 301 calling up here on Wrestlingheads Radio. 301, what you want to talk about?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
What's going on, man? Who's calling?
Yeah, man, I just wanted to talk about the whole Daniel Bryan thing. I mean, it was fantastic, you know. I mean, we go into it thinking something bad might happen, but we get something good out of it, and it's just everything that dude has been through, and I've been following him since 2004, and it's just so fucking awesome to see him get there.
Yeah, man. I was pumped up myself, too. Like, I really was scared that, you know, he was going to retire, and looked like we got a swerve tonight.
Yeah, man, and I'm still a little worried though because the whole Roman Reigns factor. I think Bryan deserves to be the top guy, but the WWE's like, you know what, man, we're going for the look, and Roman Reigns has the look. We all have opinions, but as of right now, Roman's not that great in the ring. He's not that great on the mic, obviously, but Bryan has both of that, and he has the crowd support. And I'm like, why would you want to put Roman ahead of Bryan?
You know what? I agree with you 110% because tonight, the match with him and Seth Rollins, even though Big Show got involved, the match is boring, to me at least. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I thought the match was boring. And I know Seth Rollins can go, and we know him and Roman Reigns, I thought because, they both were part of the Shield, they can, match together, but it didn't work out tonight. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, man, exactly. I mean, did they go about a good 20 minutes, and Roman had a good chance to shine in singles, and he just didn't deliver, in my opinion.
Yeah, man. Definitely with you on that. So now that Daniel's back, is he your top pick for the Royal Rumble?
He is, man. He. Well, that's who I want to win, but I think we're still going to get Roman Reigns. I think the way I have it laid out is I think that Roman and Bryan are going to be the last two in, and I don't know if Roman's going to go heel on Bryan, and that's how he's going to get the win, but I kind of see Reigns going heel before WrestleMania, kind of how the whole Batista-Bryan thing happened, People were glad to see Batista back the first time he showed up, but after that it was like, no, man, you win the Rumble. Bryan was supposed to win the Rumble, so fuck you, dude. And it was kind of like that, and it's kind of going to, I think Reigns might win it cleanly, but the people are just going to be like, no, fuck this dude. We wanted Bryan to win, and I'm not trying to sound all smarky there, but, I think that Bryan would deserve to win it, and, it's a matter of let's see what happens, but, yeah, unfortunately, I do see Reigns getting it.
What's your thoughts on the Authority returning tonight, and also Brock Lesnar teaming up with them?
And the whole Authority thing, I don't mind it, man, but I thought it was premature. I'm like, why are they returning before Randy Orton's returning? I don't get it. And apparently Orton showed up after the show, and I'm like, okay, so he did house shows this weekend, and he showed up after Raw, but he wasn't on Raw, but the Authority was, and I think it's a little premature considering the stipulation at Survivor Series and, the magnitude and the weight that match carried, and the feel-good moment after it happened, only for them to come back a month and a half afterwards. I mean, that's just kind of lame.
Yeah. I know Randy's supposed to wrestle Kane tomorrow out here at the Staples Center. It's a house show. So Orton is definitely on the verge of coming back to TV. So we'll see what happens with with the Authority, because let's not forget,
okay. So
Seth Rollins.
So you're a California man, so you must be a PWG fan.
Oh yeah. Every show.
Yeah, we are.
I love PWG, man. I'm equally a ROH and PWG fan. I know a lot of people get into debates which one's better, but I just love both of them. I stay out of that. I don't pick one over the other, but they're both fucking awesome.
Definitely agree with you on that. Where are you from?
I'm in Maryland.
Oh, okay. Do you follow us on
East Coast?
Do you follow us on Twitter?
Yeah, man. You might know me. My name is Mark Out for Tacos.
Okay. Mark Out for Tacos.
Yeah. How's it going, man?
That is an
what's going on, bro?
Twitter.
It's crazy because Mark Out for Tacos was not liking some of those votes.
Oh, man. Man, I like Ricochet. I like Ricochet a lot, actually. It's just, he's not my wrestler of the year, man. I mean, any of those can be up for debate, man. But I like Ricochet. I don't hate him. I just didn't agree with it.
Who's your wrestler of the year?
You know what, man? I know he wasn't in the category, and he might be too big for it, but I might have to say AJ Styles. I mean, he did enough for ROH and New Japan and a couple PWG
AJ Styles
shows.
was on there for, AJ Styles was definitely on there.
Well, I was talking about Styles earlier, but then I went off and I had Elgin as my pick.
For sure. I mean, I thought, in my book, I would say AJ Styles is like number 2 on my list. Ricochet's number 1. That's mine. I don't know about the guys here, Oscar and Tom. I don't know how their list is looking.
Well, I just
man.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I said it when we did Wrestler of the Year last week. You can make the case for either guy. It just all depends on your own opinion.
Yeah, it is all about opinion. Like, something I kind of wanted to talk about. Like, I don't know if y'all had a Tag Team of the Year ballot, did you?
Nah. No, we did in Red Dragon one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, like, I agree with that. I know there's a lot of Young Buck fans out there, and I'm one too, but, for me, I would take Red Dragon. I'm kind of a half and half Young Buck fan, you see. Like, I kind of get on their case, because I'm like, oh, here comes a Young Buck match. We're going to see 20 fucking super kicks and all that shit. But, I used to really hate the Bucks, but I've grown to like them. That's just me being honest right there. But, when it comes to tag teams in general over the past 10 years, I don't put nobody above the Briscoes.
Yeah, I see you put a Jay Briscoe a couple times. I saw that.
Yes. Yeah, man. I'm a big Briscoe fan, man. I even met Jay outside. It was Final Battle 2006 after party, and he comes out of nowhere and he asks me if I have any weed, and I'm like, what?
Hey, the wrestlers do that. I ain't know other names, but I know some other wrestlers that do it.
Yes, Jay Briscoe and Jack Evans would do that.
Oh, shit. I'll definitely not say no other names, but I know some wrestlers that do it. Besides,
I know.
Jay.
I saw that in PWG.
I would love to go to a PWG show. I mean, the crowd is fucking great every show.
I mean, if you come out here, just let us know, and you can kick it with us.
Hey, man, I definitely will do that sometime. I'm hoping to make a bowler one year, man. I'd love to do that.
Yeah, man. It's definitely a great tournament. I know this past bowl was crazy. All 3 days. See all those all-stars, like Zack Sabre Jr., AJ Styles, Drew Gulak, like the list goes on. Biff Busick making his debut. Crazy.
Yeah, man.
But,
I think PWG has really picked it up the past few years. I mean, before, I would have without a doubt said ROH by far, but over the past few years, I think it's really neck and neck.
Yeah, definitely, man. Tune in on January 5th. We'll be starting our WH Top 100, basically our Top 100 wrestlers of the year. We'll agreement with everybody here on the show. So maybe tune in next week. We'll be on our new network, the Elite Wrestling Podcast Network. So look out for that.
Yeah, man, that sounds cool, man. That sounds cool. I'm going to go ahead and get back to some video gaming here, man. I'll chat with you fellas on Twitter.
All right, brother.
All right, take care, man.
You guys take it easy, man.
Take care, bro.
Shout out to Mark out for tacos. Cool dude.
Yeah, definitely.
He's actually
definitely. And tomorrow's Taco Tuesday.
Mark out for tacos, then, right?
Right.
Shit. But yeah, that was a good conversation there, though. Let's go ahead and get back into this Raw talk real quick. Nikki Bella, Natalya,
really nothing to go over when we mentioned those two, because we saw what happened. It was a quick 5-second match. Nikki Bella went over, of course, because she's a Divas champ. The Usos defeat Mizdow and become your WWE Tag Team Champs. That was a pretty good match. I thought it was. But, the whole Mizdow thing is going to end quick, because I'm kind of tired of seeing Miz basically, in a handicap match.
Yeah, but the way how it is, like how, and then today it seems like we're all what we want. It's gonna happen. Miz is gonna betray Mizdow, and they're gonna have a feud going on. So, yeah, it's the beginning.
What's your thoughts on Tom?
Yeah, I thought the match was okay for what it was. That it was, better than most tag matches on Raw. But yeah, once again, the Usos are tag team champions, which, I mean, in all honesty, I don't care about. At this point, it's not that I hate the Usos. It's that I'm already becoming sick of how WWE just books them. I mean, besides being Samoan and that they're Uso crazy, they have no character depth. We know nothing about them. They've just become so bland and boring. Not to take away that they can't go out in the ring and, can't, put on some great tag matches, because we saw that they can. And it was evident when they were feuding, with Harper and Rowan. Those guys were all putting on great matches. So it's just, I'm getting pretty sick of the Usos, and, WWE just really desperately needs to step up their tag division. I think if you had 6 or 7, legitimate tag teams on that roster, then this wouldn't happen, where people get sick of tag teams. But because there's only a handful that WWE takes somewhat seriously, you get sick of the teams that you see, So for what it was okay, and obviously this is building to a Mizdow match for whenever. I don't know when they plan on doing it. I don't know what they're going to do, but the seeds for a breakup have already been planted. So looking forward to seeing what they do with that. But Usos, once again, are your tag team champions. So definitely
Usos going on a new year with some titles around our waist. But Cesaro cut a little promo tonight. Basically mentioning, he kind of was basically going at Vince McMahon and what Vince, thought about him. Because, I guess he said 2014 was supposed to be his year. Ended up not being his year. He won the Under the Giant over the top rope match. After that,
yeah, this was interesting, because when they came back from break, you see Cesaro looking like a mix between Raven and Taz, sitting in the corner with the towel over his head, and then he gets on the mic, and I'm like, what is Cesaro going to say? And he starts, saying everything that you said, and I'm just like, oh shit, he was kind of going off. I mean, it's sad that it's come to even this point to where he has to cut promos like this. And I think this was a kind of a direct jab at, us internet folks who love Cesaro and want to support the guy, and yet he's being treated like shit. And, Cesaro's been outspoken of several things. He said this year that people are sick of Cena and Orton, which is completely true, but it probably put him in the doghouse. And then there was actually some video that I saw from, I think, yesterday's house show, to where Cesaro came out to his music, and he gets on the mic and he goes, "Cut that music. It's terrible anyway. It's the worst music." So this is a little weird, and I don't know what they're going to do with Cesaro. I have absolutely no idea. It is a damn shame that he's even in this spot to where he's been jobbing for most of the year. But guess we'll have to see what happens with Cesaro. Hopefully all the best for him. And, you know, we can only hope that maybe WWE does get their head out of their asses and maybe does push the guy as a top freaking babyface, because Lord knows he could do it. He could do it so easy. He can do it as easy as anything else. But if worse comes to worse and WWE decides that they don't want him anymore, he'll be welcomed back to the Indies with open arms and probably make a shit ton of money on the Indie scene.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, it was definitely, he was definitely talking to the guys in the back, but then when this music hits, Wade Barrett comes out, and I was kind of pumped because those guys, they have so much chemistry together. I was like, this is about to be a good match, and it ended up not being the best match as, you know, they usually have. But I'm hoping that they continue those two with, you know, feuding. Of course, Wade Barrett won. You know, he came back with his return. Good to see Wade Barrett back. I'm afraid I got some bad news.
Yeah, good to see Barrett back. Hopefully, once again, another guy that deserves a big freaking push, and, you know, if used right, could be a world title holder. But with WWE, we're always hesitant.
Yeah, man. Let's move on real quick. Jack Swagger and Luke Harper wrestled. Basically, Luke Harper just beat Jack Swagger. Swagger, you know, he jobbed, and Harper went over, of course. It's the right thing to do. Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, like I said earlier, that match was not the best match, you know, of the night. Really, I thought these two would gel together because, you know, they have the chemistry already from the Shield, and they just didn't deliver. I want to say Roman Reigns, you know, it was more on his side. I don't want to be that guy that shits on Roman Reigns, but Roman definitely had his side, you know, like, I'm ready to, you know, to wrestle with the big boys, you know, and I wasn't feeling it tonight with him. Hello?
Yep. Yeah. Well, oh no.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of reminded me of Orton versus Reigns back, when was it, Night of Champions, I believe. I don't think Reigns is that great in the ring, and it seems like Seth Rollins just had to, like, carry this long match just like Orton did, you know, just to make the match with Reigns somewhat interesting. I mean, I don't think Roman Reigns is as bad in the ring as people say. I think he has potential, but he's got to get off of these same damn moves, and then when he's not doing the same, you know, like, quote unquote 5 moves of doom like Cena does, you know, everybody has their signature moves, but it's either he does that or he does rest hold, or he's getting, you know, a rest hold put on him. He needs some other moves in his arsenal to help kind of slow down the match and not rely on these same, you know, Superman punch, Samoan drop, apron drop kick, you know, clothesline in the corner, and then spear. You know, it just seems like that's his arsenal. So
Definitely
I think he needs to mix it up.
It definitely is, and I agree. I mean, switch it up. Later on in the show, in the backstage,
skits.
Yeah.
Oh, you were cutting off. I was there. Now we hear you.
No, I said basically that I was complaining to Edge and Christian about they wanted a rematch, and Edge basically said, "I'll give you a match. Your match is next." And of course, ladies and gentlemen, for those who forgot, the Ascension were supposed to make their debut, and the Ascension made their debut, and a lot of people were complaining about their new look, but I have no complaints. They're the same Ascension, just with, face paint on their face. What's the difference? Nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. I kind of dig the face paint in a way. I mean, it's something different. I mean...
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like there's so many tag team guys with face paint. There's the Usos. There's Goldust and Stardust. And even though that's only 2 tag teams, those are really like the only tag teams besides, Miz and Mizdow and Los Matadores. So 2 out of the 4 tag teams have face paint. So now we have 3 out of the 5 have face paint. I didn't think they needed the face paint. I think they still would have done the same thing if they would have just kept the same look. I'm not liking the big shoulder, pads things that they have. I think if they just would have kept the same look that they had in NXT, they would have been fine.
There's one thing I have a little problem. The people are posting this shit on Twitter. Please, people, don't compare them to Demolition. They're not even close to Demolition. If they can, if the WWE could get a better... I think
they're comparing the look. They're not comparing them. They're comparing the look.
So not even the look. Demolition's look was 10 times better than
the Legion of Doom. The Road Warriors, the Legion of Doom. They have a similar look to the Road Warriors, and that's my problem. Is you can have a tag team that's just badass guys that beat the shit out of people, which were basically what the Road Warriors were. They were 2 badass guys who were rocking this face paint, and they had the spikes. And they went out there and they beat the crap out of people. People loved it. They were much, they were baby faces. They weren't the heels that the Ascension were. But I think you can still have that, but WWE just didn't need, if they didn't put the face paint on them and didn't have them do the shoulder pads, I don't think people would be comparing them.
Well, let's see what the Ascension is. See what they're going to be doing. See how they're going to deliver on the main roster. I think they have one more last match on NXT, and that's against Devitt and Kenta, aka Finn Balor and Hideo Itami. So that should be happening next week, because this week they showed something else on NXT. So that should be their last match.
They're showing it this Thursday. They're showing it this Thursday for sure.
Definitely. Ladies and gentlemen, next week, Ambulance's match, Dean Ambrose versus Bray Wyatt. Could this be the end of their feud? There already been 3 matches. This is about to be a 3rd one. So SmackDown, they're going to be on SmackDown. They're going to be on the Cutting Peep Show, or Cutting Edge Peep Show, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, that was the Edge and Christian show, pretty much.
Basically. So they're going to be on there next, or this week, this Friday, on SmackDown. Basically tomorrow. Oscar, you want to run down the ending of Raw?
Yeah, definitely. Edge and Christian had their own show, pretty much, the Cutting Peep Show, and especially as we said, Rollins was like going out there acting like he had a good mood or something. He wanted to do a toast, and yada yada. He wanted John Cena to come out, and John Cena wasn't coming out. So what happened was he used his briefcase and he held Christian with it, and Seth Rollins, Big Show, and JJ Security circled Edge, and then Big Show grabbed Edge, and then and I guess Seth Rollins told Cena, "Better get out of here. I'm gonna do something to Edge." And then Cena came out and he told him to hold on for a second. Don't make not another step, because if he does, he's gonna crush his neck with the curve stop, which we all know Edge's history with neck issues. And he told Cena, don't do it, because remember, he's a father, he's a married man. Don't do it. So then he basically gave Cena some options here. If he brings back the Authority, he will leave Edge alone, and he will not crush his neck. If he doesn't, he's going to crush his neck. So then he made John Cena bring back the Authority. So that was a cheap way for him to bring back the Authority. And then after Cena said, okay, he's bringing back the Authority, he was going to crush his neck. John Cena stopped him, and a brawl came out. They all pretty much jumped Cena. And then Seth Rollins was in the rampway, and all of a sudden you hear Triple H's music. You see Triple H and Stephanie made their return. So
let's not forget Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, and Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman were all right there too. So basically, the Authority's back, and I knew it was going to happen sometime soon. I thought it would be sometime in the road to WrestleMania, but hell, if you're going to bring back the Authority, or in some way you got to bring back the Authority somehow, some way, yeah, somehow we got to fill the story for Sting and Triple H for WrestleMania.
Yeah. I don't know about you guys, but I thought of this. Seth Rollins was fucking fantastic. On the mic here at the end here. I mean, from the moment he got into the ring, when it was just him, Edge, and Christian, to when he was talking with John Cena while, Big Show was holding down Edge, Seth Rollins was incredible. I mean, probably his best mic work so far in the WWE. He was such a convincing
definitely agree with
heel.
you. I had tweeted, I was like, Seth Rollins really on his heel shit tonight. He was definitely on his fucking heel shit tonight. Definitely played the heel role right, and that's why this kid has had a hell of a fucking year. Yeah.
I mean, without a doubt. And like I said, this was his best heel promo to date because, I mean, mostly everybody loves Edge. And you see Seth Rollins about to curb stomp a guy who's, had so many neck problems in his life. And you're just like, what a fucking dick. And you're thinking that to yourself. And you're just like, Seth Rollins is the man, but I fucking hate him right now. And it was just incredible mic work. And what made it more convincing is just like the pure anger and, like the tone of his voice was just phenomenal. If he could do stuff like that every week, he could easily move up as one of the best talkers. I thought it was great. I thought, even though it was a little early, I thought it was a convincing way to bring back the Authority. Because, if John Cena didn't do it, then, Edge's neck could have been broken again, kayfabe-wise. And, it would have been John Cena's fault. So I thought this was a good way to bring back the Authority. Maybe a little early, but I was fine with how they did it. But like I said, Seth Rollins ending out 2014 looking like $1 million. So I was happy with it. Great work. And, definitely a better Raw than we've seen over the past couple months.
Oh, yeah. Seth Rollins definitely did it well tonight. Definitely MVP of the night, if I had to grade somebody, hands down. Some announcements to make people didn't know, but I guess Christian had an interview one-on-one with I believe he had an interview with Michael Cole or Jerry Clonar. Is one of those guys, and he mentioned that he's retired. So if he's not retired, I think it's the best thing for Christian, and I think I'm sorry to say the word, but about time. You know, we know the guy had a lot of concussions. And I really think certain guys should follow these young guys like Christian's footsteps. Like another guy, Big Show, need to follow the footsteps. Mark Henry, follow the footsteps. Like these guys were in their era, you know, and these guys are leaving, you know, to let the young boys like Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, Bray Wyatt, and these guys, you know, take over the WWE. And I think Big Show needs to follow those footsteps along with Mark Henry and some of the other older guys are still part of WWE that doesn't need to be in the roster.
I think Kane's time is up.
I think
Kane wasn't even out there tonight.
Yeah. I think Kane needs to have like a couple more big matches, and then I think he needs to just hang it up because, first off, I think he could still go, but he's just not the same Kane. WWE has nothing for him creative-wise. All three of those guys just need to hang it up. And I think we're going to see within the next couple of years, I think Triple H is going to leave, you know, the ring full-time. You know, it's not going to come back for one more match or whatever. I think, you know, he only wrestles only a couple of times a year. You know, it's kind of turning into The Undertaker in a sense. But, yeah, I think it's, like I said, it's time, I think, for a big change for WWE. I think they need to start, you know, focusing on the young talent they need to get their fucking booking creative into, I don't even know, because it's been such shit. I mean, 2014 had some high moments, some good moments from WWE, but man, was there just a lot of crap from this company this year. And they just, I don't know if they'll ever wake up because a lot of it is Vince, but they just need to get their shit together because they have way too much talent to be misusing these guys.
Right.
Yeah. But what do you think is the main problem? Is it the creative in the main roster? Because look what NXT did. I mean, who made all that? You know, why can't that be placed in the main roster? You know, instead of making us supposedly a rumor, H&L, Mighty Mouse type gimmick. You know, I just hope that's not. I hope that's false.
It's a difference in perspective. I think it's with NXT. You know, Triple H is running that whole thing, but he has writers down there, but he only has a couple of guys down there. Granted, NXT only does, an hour show once a week, and the main roster has to do, 5 hours each week if you include main event and SmackDown. So it is tough. I think that one of the main problems is that Raw is 3 hours long. I think it's tough to do anything really good in 3 hours because you start watching it, 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock, Pacific time, your guys' time, and, an hour or two in, you're like completely drained and you can't watch it anymore. And even if the product was better, it still would be tough to watch it. So that is a main problem with WWE, is 3 hours of Raw is just, it's getting harder and harder to watch. Like I said, another big problem is just they do have way too many writers. They have like 30 writers. You don't need that many people to book a show, If you eliminate half those guys, it could still be the same thing. You don't need that many people writing a show. And if you do, it should be a lot better than what they've done this year. Probably a lot of it is Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon probably still has some good ideas, and he probably still can do some good things, and I don't care what he says, Vince McMahon is out of touch with what people want. He's out of touch in what he thinks is going to be a good product. He's, out of touch of this whole idea of, sports entertainment and grabbing the brass ring and all these different things that he was talking about on Steve Austin's podcast. And Vince has been out of touch for a long time. Back in the Attitude Era, there's been stories told by people that one of the reasons that it was so successful was because of, the few writers that they had would go up to Vince McMahon and say, you have no idea what the people want. Here's what they want. Let's work together and make this, a fucking awesome product so we can beat WCW. Because if we don't make this a good product, we're going to be run out of business, and they're going to take us over. So, and a lot of it is also no competition. There's so many factors within WWE just not being a great product as of today. And it does worry me. It worries me about the guys in NXT, how they're going to be treated. Guys like Finn Balor, Kevin Owens, Adrian Neville, Sami Zayn, all those guys down there. How are they going to be treated when they get up to the main roster? I don't know if they're going to be pushed the way they should be. Cesaro should be a star right now, and he's not. The Divas should be treated better, and they're not. So, I don't know. There's a lot going on with WWE that needs to be fixed. And I don't know if it'll be fixed in 2015. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, what you said, Tom, was like what scares me about Adrian Neville, but if let's just say this rumor is true that he's going to give this Mighty Mouse type character. So what if Ben Baylor comes in? What, he's no longer going to let him use the body paint or something? I mean,
I don't know. I think you're
going to be freaking dumb.
I think you're kind of getting a little bit ahead of yourself. A little bit. I think everything's gonna be fine. They would let them use it in NXT. It's all WWE. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying. I don't want to say you want to say I'm ahead of myself, but I'm not even completely 100% buying the whole Adrian Neville rumor. I'm just saying, let's just say if it's true that they're doing this, what that means for the future for these guys.
I don't think nothing's gonna change. The guy can still go in the ring. Everything's gonna be fine. They won't just let this guy's job, when they make some roster. He's not, gonna be like a Bo Dallas. Adrian Neville's popular. He was, I was about to say former NXT champ, but guess what Bo Dallas was too. I guess Bo Dallas just didn't have it on the main roster. He came to the main roster once and went back down, and then came back up. I think he's the only one that's happened to. If you think about all the guys who came from NXT, like Big E stayed in the main roster.
Yeah, but what has Big E done? Big E's done nothing. He's a part of the
I don't know
New
why
Day.
I said Big E. I don't know why I said Big E out of all people. But what, Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, and Roman Reigns. There's three. Those three, you see what these guys are doing. And I'm pretty sure like a Kevin Owens, like a Finn Balor, a Dale Tommy, those guys mimic their main roster. They're not going to be no Bo Dallas or no Big E Langston. They'll be
that
players.
Could be true, but with WWE, I never know. That's the problem.
I'm not worried.
Yeah, I don't know if I should be too worried, but there's still reason, I think, to be worried. I don't know. This company has a lot of shit that they need to figure out. They need to realize a lot of what's going on. You know, one of the things that I really hate about the WWE is this whole, you know, the whole PG thing doesn't bother me. You can have a PG product, that's fine. But when you're marketing John Cena, and most of the things they're marketing John Cena. You know, he's the top babyface, he's the top guy, he's in every top top storyline, and he's been like this for 10 years. And, you know, I think they need to get back into pushing the envelope just a little bit, get some of the, you know, adults back into here, you know, market it toward us. Market it toward the internet crowd, that 18 to 34 demographic, you know. And then when we start showing up and we start spending our money on a product that we like, it'll show. You know, there's reasons why the ratings have been falling. Live attendance has been down, you know.
Well, now with Daniel Bryan back, I think it's going to help. I really think it's going to help their ratings, and I'm really not that worried. You guys sound real worried. I think Adrian Neville's going to be fine. He's going to be fine. He's going to be still putting on great matches, and still everything's going to be fine. And we'll see what happens.
I don't doubt that he's going to put on great matches because he's a great worker, but look at Cesaro. Cesaro puts on great matches.
I mean,
since he's been in WWE, and look where he's at.
This is the thing. We heard what Vince said. It's clear that Vince doesn't like Cesaro. So that's Vince McMahon for you. I mean, what can we do, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's why it's frustrating that, you know, there's this whole thing going on, and there's probably so many guys in the locker room that want to speak up, you know, that Stone Cold did in the past, and CM Punk did in the past, and all these guys did in the past and speak up and want to take that spot and take that top spot and, you know, help mold the company, but they're afraid they're going to lose their jobs. And that's what a lot of people have been saying, is that a lot of these guys are just afraid. So, I don't know. I think, 2014, it was a weird year for WWE. Like I said, there was some good moments, you know, good matches on Raw and pay-per-views, but there was a lot of crap.
You know what?
In the year.
You know what? 5 years from now, if they really could get their shit right, you know, I'm looking at a WrestleMania that it could be pretty good. Like, I could see, look, in 5 years from now, I don't see John Cena wrestling. Seriously. He's actually already thinking about a post-WWE career. So I don't see John Cena in the WWE. So all that stuff you're saying about John Cena, it's going to be done. I don't think he has it in it. I think he's going to be gone in a few years. So
you know what, Oscar? You know, Toby once said when he was on here, he was like, give the WWE 5 to 6 years. He said WrestleMania is gonna look like an indie show.
Yeah. That's what I was going to. Look 5 years from now. If you race John Cena, you race Kane, you race Big Show, you race Mark Henry. Look at the roster could be performing at a WrestleMania. Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, Cesaro, hopefully he doesn't leave, Finn Balor, Hideo Itami, Kevin Owens, you know, just imagine that in 5 years. Daniel Bryan, imagine that in 5 years as a WrestleMania, in WrestleMania.
I wouldn't even say 5 years. That could happen, you know, 2 to 3 years. That could happen. And then, you know, there's the other guys down in NXT, you know, Enzo and Big Cass, Tyler Breeze, you know,
Tyson
Corbin.
Kidd.
Tyson Kidd. You know, there's a lot of talent on this roster. And I think, you know, with NXT, you know, they just brought in Kevin Owens, and Hideo Itami and Finn Balor, and those guys are eventually going to be pushed up to the main roster, so eventually they're going to have to bring in some new guys, and I think within the next couple of years, Adam Cole is going to be signed. I still believe Ricochet should be signed by WWE. I don't think he needs it, but I believe he should be. ACH is another possibility. There's a lot of guys that could potentially be signed by WWE and eventually end up on the same roster as all those guys we just mentioned. It would be incredible.
Never know. Hey, that's what the Bucks said. That's what Nick Jackson said himself. He said anything can happen. He said so. But real quick before we go up air, guys, I just want to announce a couple of matches that have been announced for next year. January 17th, 2015, Uhaa Nation will go one-on-one with the big man, Moose. That's going to be crazy. Two big boys
where's
going
this
at
at? Is this going to be in the fall?
It's going to be at Take by Force. That's the name of the promotion.
Okay.
That's an interesting match that's been booked for 2015. Also,
another thing I just found out right now, the Young Bucks is confirmed for.
That's what I was about to know.
Yeah, we're going to be there.
The Young Bucks will be at the anniversary show, at the 15th anniversary show, or excuse me, 13th. I remember going a couple years already. The 13th anniversary show, March 1st, 2015. That's fucking Sunday, right?
Yep.
And if PWG is that Friday, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, man.
That'd be a crazy-ass weekend.
Yeah, it definitely will be.
For us.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I just want to announce some shit to the listeners here. I just want all the listeners to know, ladies and gentlemen, this is our last show of the year here on blogtalkradio.com/Wrestlingheads Radio. Starting January 5th, our first show of 2015. Catch us at www.blogtalkradio.com/Elite Podcast Network. Yes, we will be moving. Starting in 2015, we will be a part of a network with a couple of other podcasts, and I'm going to name them all. And you should go ahead and follow them all too, because they are family of Wrestlingheads. Be sure to follow the Weekly Wrestling Podcast, the Indie Power Ranking, Mike and Tom Show, Beyond the 3 Count. Follow all those podcasts and follow Wrestlingheads too. Follow us all, and don't forget to follow Elite Podcast Net. Elite Podcast Net. NET is at the end. So follow us. Show some support. Elite Podcast Network. I'm excited for it. Next year it's going to be a big deal, and I'm excited for 2015. And we're working on getting our first guest.
Yeah, 2015, it's going to be a good year for both of us kids. You know, we're actually going to be in the road, you know, not just only because San Diego, you know, I mean, we're going to actually be going to Vegas. We're going up in the Bay Area, you know, to Ring of Honor and WrestleMania week. So it's going to be interesting year for us. Who knows? Maybe we'll be in AIW. Maybe we'll be in New York, knocking at town door.
Yeah.
You know.
Who knows? Maybe I'll be out in California for PWG. Maybe be out in Chicago for AAW. Who knows?
Yeah, you know what, Tom? Bola is the year you should come, or DDT 4 if the February show is DDT 4 if you can make it, but not get past the Bola.
We'll see. We'll have to see, man.
Because I know
definitely want to get out there to see some PWG and get in that get in that Legion Hall.
Yeah, so you could probably meet Legion Larry.
Definitely. Everybody go, excuse me. Support us. Buy a t-shirt. ProWrestlingTees.com/WrestlingHeads. New shirts coming. We will have Elite Podcast Network shirts coming also. WrestlingHeads.com. Go to our website. We got news on WWE, TNA, International, Indies. Go check the website out. YouTube.com/WrestlingHeads. That is our YouTube. Subscribe us on there. We're on iTunes too. Just type in Wrestling Heads. And again, follow us at Wrestling Heads. I'm WH Skits on Twitter. You can follow me there. You can also, if you want to be friends with me on Facebook, just look for Patrick Moss. Yeah, that's my real name. Or you can just find the WH Skits Facebook too. So yeah, that's all my plugs right for now. Let the guys pass theirs out, and we'll be ending the show of 2014.
All right. You can follow me at Sinister632 on Twitter, Instagram, Vine, whatever. Just you can follow me there. Check out Wrestlingheads.com. I'll be back blogging soon, hopefully. And I'll make a little announcement about our YouTube page. All right. Subscribe us, and by the way, at youtube.com/WrestlingHeads. I know we're not having a show this week after this one, but Thursday, I'm planning to do this for Thursday, a little throwback Thursday. I'm going to put in the episode when we had the Greek God Papadon on Thursday. So if you haven't subscribed our YouTube page, do it now. And if you were not around when we had Greek God Papadon about a year ago, well, we're going to put that episode on YouTube. And I'm just doing it because Wrestling Cares is next month, so I think it's the right time to do it. So, yeah, check that out on Thursday, on New Year's Day. Just check it out. And I guess we'll come back in January 5th, and it's going to be a new era for all of us, and start up a big 2015 for WrestleHeads. Let's do it.
Yep, and you can follow me on Twitter to tweet me. That's really the only social media I use. Follow me on there. Make sure to follow you back. Check out WrestlingHeads.com. Tons of stuff on there. Too much to mention in the little time we have left. Of course, youtube.com/WrestlingHeads. But, of course, check out all our affiliates on the Elite Podcast Network, Weekly Wrestling Podcasts, Indie Power Rankings, Uncle Mike and Tom Show, and Beyond the 3 Count. I'm excited for 2015 with those guys. Should be a fun time. A lot of fun podcasts coming up with all those guys and working with them. I'm looking forward to it. And, ladies and gentlemen, if you somehow forgot, I want to mention this. But this Sunday, Wrestle Kingdom 9, it's going to be live on pay-per-view, or you can get it from New Japan World if you have it. It's going to be an incredible event. I can't wait to watch it and review it next week.
I took off of work.
I'm going to be watching it live up late. I don't care about
that. Will be me too, and I think Oscar is too. And
yep. They're all doing it.
We'll see you guys next year, and it's been good this year for WH Radio. Peace.
What time is it?
WH Radio.
The best in the world at what we do.